Hello from Trinity Lutheran Church. This week we are looking at words that have to do with healing. And our next word is whole. When we are in need of healing, we often long to be made whole again. As I said earlier in the week, our need for healing goes beyond the physical. Any part of our lives can experience brokenness, be it in our work world, in our relationships, in ourselves. Any brokenness makes us long to be made whole. One of the more remarkable stories of healing in the Bible occurs in Luke chapter 8. In it, a woman who had been experiencing bleeding for 12 years is in the crowd around Jesus, and she longs to be healed. We should remember that, as is almost always true in healing stories, the pain of this woman is beyond the physical. A woman in her time of the month was considered ritually unclean, ostracized from religious services and other normal functions of society. And, as I've mentioned, the stigma of illness in the time of Jesus centered around the idea that illness came as a judgment of God. Imagine how desperate she was, and yet she could not bring herself to ask for this healing. She instead thought, if I just touch his cloak, I'll be made well. And so she did something fairly unthinkable at the time. She reached out and touched Jesus, and she was made whole. Of course, that's where things get really interesting. Jesus, it seems, can tell power has gone out from him. He demands to know, who touched me? The woman confesses. But rather than admonish her, Jesus simply says, your faith has made you well. He could have just as easily said, your faith has made you whole. The metaphor is clear. Jesus makes you whole. But how? We say something a lot at our church. People of God, what does the Lord ask of us? But to do justice and to love mercy and to walk humbly with our God. This is the way of Jesus, and it invites us into a divine mystery that when we live for God and others, we find ourselves. We find ourselves made whole. Do what the Lord asks of you. We will be made well. We will be made whole. Peace.